Hey guys! So now we're going to learn about how React components work. But before we do that, if you guys could like and subscribe, that would be the best thing ever because YouTube's gonna think I'm cool and show my videos to more people so they can learn too. So anyway, the first thing I recommend you guys do is download this Visual Studio Code extension called React Snippets, which is going to make the coding process a lot easier when you're writing in React. So go ahead and download this extension here, and now we can get started with the video. Okay, so here are the files that I'm using. It's the exact same thing except for the content folder that I've added, which has the images I'm going to use to make our final result. Okay, so I'm gonna make this really nice section of images for you guys using React components. There are an infinite number of ways to write code, right? Just like how 1 plus 1 is not the only way to get 2, React is the same. Instead of making 6 images manually, I'm going to use React components to make 3 images and recycle my code. So the image files are in the description if you guys want to follow along. And now I'm going to go ahead and delete everything in app.js. Instead, I'm just going to type RFC, and then that's going to write all the setup React code for us. I'm also going to make another folder called components, and then inside that I'm going to make a file called images.js. The reason I made a folder is just to organize my code, and you'll notice that I use a capital to name my JavaScript file because it helps React know the difference between default elements like img or div and the components that we make. So anyway, I'm going to type RFC again to create the setup. And then now I'm going to create my 3 image parameters, 1, 2, and 3. Make sure you guys put our parameters inside squiggly brackets. So anyway, I'll create my 3 image elements. I'm going to wrap it inside a div called images. So notice that when I create my images, I'm using a slash at the end, and that's basically how you write elements in React. So now I'm just going to remove the old styling, and then I'll just use a simple display flex and then gap to set the images into rows, and then make the images have a max width of 4 rem and a max height of 4 rem as well. I'll also go into my app.js file and then give it a class name of container just to style it so that all the elements are going to be at the center of the page. So in our app.js file, which is the main file of our entire website, you can think of index.html. This app.js is basically the same thing. So we're going to import our component, our images file. We're also going to import the images that we're going to display onto the website. And then now the React part. I'm going to make use of our images component, and our styles.css didn't work because I forgot to import our app.css, and now after doing that, okay, I just did a little bit of debugging. Turns out that I forgot an S inside my class selector, but after we do that, there you go, you guys. Now we successfully made the design that we're aiming for. Now all I want to do is just actually use styling to center everything in the middle. And then I'm also going to add a small gap here so it's not all cluttered. I'm also going to change it so all of the images have a width and height of exactly 5 rems, and now it looks perfect. So it looks like we did it, you guys. The best part about using components in React is that we can reuse this as many times as we need to. And if you think about it, if I had like 1,000 images instead of 6, having components would make reading the app.js file infinitely easier. And I can also like add spacing to our component to make it easier to read as well if you guys like that kind of styling. Look at that. So yeah, there you go, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to let me know. And yeah, subscribe or else.